Good afternoon. It's the Mystics spilling the tea.
I'm Ashwani, Southern Fried Psychic.
I'm Leslie Hall, the Purple Rose Psychic.
And I'm Nikel with Rising Digital.
And we are the Mystics spilling the tea. Today's topic is...
We're going to talk about primary guides, temporary guides. We're just going to talk about your guides.
Ooh, I love that.
I didn't know that we had more than one. So.
Oh, wow. So,
that's
this is
good
going to
then.
be
way
new
behind.
for
I'm
you
way
then.
behind, I know.
Okay, it's like that moon water.
It
We're
is.
cool. We're
See?
cool. We're cool. Yeah.
All right.
See
We're
how
cool.
we educate each other?
Yeah.
I love it.
I love
We all
this.
get there's so much metaphysically for you to learn or for there
know it
have
all.
the opportunity to learn. You will never learn it in your entire life because metaphysical stuff came from way back, ancient times.
Yep.
Everything has been metaphysical stuff has always gone on. And so that's part of it. But today we're talking about the guides.
Yep. So
And-
you have between 1 and 5. Well, I shouldn't say that. Typical guides, you have around 5, usually around you. And you
Some
have
come
a
in
primary.
and out. Right.
Well, not in and out. You have one, just one. That's your primary with you always before you're even born.
Mm-hmm.
So comes in with you, and I do believe we have free will to help choose that. So primary guide gets a lot of misconceptions. People think, "Oh, that's my grandmother." No,
Not unless your
Unless-
grandma was dead before
Exactly.
you were born.
it's going to be an ancestor of yours from this life, but someone you did not know.
Mm-hmm.
So that way they don't have biased or anything like that. There's no attached emotions in that way because they need the big picture kind of thing. But it'll be somebody that was in your family, so it might be like your great grandmother. That's why I think I keep seeing Greek around you. I think you definitely have a Greek goddess that's around you. That won't be your primary guide, but that could be your temporary guide. So you have your one primary, and then you can have up to 5. I've known people. There's circumstances sometimes where you have 7 or 9, depends on what you're doing.
Circumstances.
Yeah. So
Like-
Yeah.
I would say, like, when we're working with a lot of people who are doing a lot of spiritual work, I've met other people where they've had like 9 guides.
Yeah. I
You
have
know?
quite a few that I work with.
Mhm.
I don't know if
They
they're
come and
like,
go.
I don't think they're with me every minute of the day.
Nope.
But like I said, I work with Anubis, Nefertiti, Athena, Aphrodite. I work with Helen. I work with Lilith. I work with
So for the layman
the layman.
who don't know work with,
Okay. So when
Yeah.
I work with them,
Good question.
so when I work with them, and so like I have a guide that I go to that I ask her to help me with my number of readings I'm getting or whatever I need coming into my life. I have her help me with that. She's my manifestation guide, and that's who. I mean, whether she wanted to be that or not, it doesn't matter. That's what she is to me, and that's who she is, and that's what she does. Then I have 3 guides that I normally work with when I'm doing just general readings. They're the ones that come in and they give me information because those guides, I ask them to talk to your angels and your guides to get information to give to me to give to you.
wow.
And so that's what I work with those guides. So I work with them at different times, like they're not always with me. Some of them I feel like are with me quite a bit, just, quite a bit. But I don't call in the big guns per se.
Yeah.
On a daily basis. I call them in whenever I'm like going to be doing an open gallery. I'm going to be doing mediumship. Something like that. When I feel like I'm going to need their help, then that's when I ask them. But it's kind of a different thing whenever. And one thing I want to say is because the way I do readings and the way I do mediumship is most of the time I don't remember what I tell the person
I'm the same way.
because it
Yep.
channels through me and out my mouth. I don't, someone will come up to me 2 months later and go, "You were so right about da 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 da," and I'm like,
Same.
and the funniest thing is, I'm like, "I told you that," because it doesn't sound like something I would have told you. But they're like, "Oh no, you told me," and you're like, "Oh well, okay." But it's because you're channeling. I don't know what the message is. I don't really retain it. It's not for me, it's for you. And so that's one of the things. But that's where I work with my guides. And so those are temporary because they also work with other people. I'm not the only one on call, you know.
Yeah.
They're on call for a lot of people. But I do have one guide that's with me all the time. And I have a couple other guides that I feel like they're with me all the time. But my temporary ones are ones that I ask for help and they come and they help me. Now, do they all come running? I'm not really sure they all come running, but enough of them come running that they give me answers.
Nice.
Shamanic journeys where I've seen a lot show up.
Yeah.
But, you know, anything's possible in a shamanic journey. And they love joining you when, you know, you do that deep dive work. It's kind of like a meditative state. But versus your temporary guides. So primary guide's the one that never leaves you. Temporary guides can be with you for a year, 5 years, 50 years, 60 years. Something like that is, it just depends on what that's needed for. So prime example, I've nearly died 5 times. Well, angels have stepped in to be like, you know, not your time. You've got to, so, and it's so funny, as a water sign, I've nearly drowned 4 times. It's crazy.
That is
But in
crazy.
a past life, as a witch in a past life, I was drowned. And
Yeah.
so I was completing that karma. I was completing that energy every time that would happen,
Wow.
you know. So somebody saved me 4 times, you know. So it's pretty awesome to think about things like that when they do step in, they do get the big picture, they do watch over you, kind of thing. So like when I'm doing healing work, guarantee Isis shows up. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm doing deep dive shadow work and my shamanic work, the dark goddesses show up.
Heck
And they
okay.
showed up for me. It's not anybody I called in. Which I love that, because a lot of times they'll just show up for you because you're resonating that vibration, or your spirit maybe sent out a flare, or they just chose you.
They just wanted to. There's a lot of things that they have such a bigger view.
Yes.
They have such a bigger view of your purpose and your destination. And they have such a bigger view on what you need and where you need to go and at what times they need to help you and step in, that it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing to me to see them come in and support you when you need that support, and actually give you information that you weren't even thinking you were even needing. It just comes. It just comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that it's interesting to think about things from their perspective, like seeing us not see the angel number or not see,
Oh
you
my
know,
gosh.
things that, like, come on, that was right in front of you.
They're the most compassionate beings. Like
They really are.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told you all the story about when I was at home teleworking, and it sounded like the door opened to the house and someone yelled, "Hello?" And I was like, oh my gosh, someone's breaking into the house and they're checking to see if anyone's home. So I got up instantly. I checked all the doors and the windows. There was no one coming in. All the doors and everything were locked. And I have 4 dogs and not one dog barked. What? And so I was like, it must have been a dog yawning. And I know my guides, because it was later that night that I actually pieced it together. But I know my guides were like,
Come on, lady.
did you see how much we did? We
Yeah,
just
that was a
even like
lot.
made noise, and she was like, "It's the dogs." I don't. So I'm sure they were just a little disappointed, but they kept on sending me enough messages that finally that night I was like, "You're right. I've never heard my dog yell hello with
Yeah.
a yawn." So it wasn't the dog. I get it now. But they had to, like, you know, put a lot of things in front of me for me to say, that's it. And so that's what I think they do with a lot of people, is they put things in front of you. If you're not looking or you're not paying attention, then they kind of let it go.
See, and that's where I don't understand, I guess, that, and then the whole, dang it, what is it? What's for you won't pass you.
Right. If it's
Right.
meant for you, it
If
will
it's meant for
come
you,
to you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's universal time, not the timeline we think it in. And so people get frustrated, or they be like, manifestation doesn't work. Well, not if you keep thinking that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
it's your vibration. Everything's frequency.
Yeah.
The other thing is like the timing of when you take on some things. Because, like, I had done this for friends and family, knowing things and stuff many, 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 many years since I was a little bitty. But actually doing it professionally, doing readings for other people, and actually doing open galleries and mediumship, that didn't start until I was at a point in my life that I wasn't knee deep taking care of somebody. Because if you think about it, when you're knee deep taking care of a child, that's your priority. That was my priority. And then when my mother was ill, that was my priority. So it wasn't until all of that was behind me that it really started saying, now is your time for you to really jump into the pool, because now is the time we need you, and now is the time for you to take on this task, because it is metaphysical stuff takes some time. I mean, you have
Totally.
to take a dedication to it. It's not just a on a whim kind of thing. You have to really jump into the pool and get it going.
Yeah, it's not a one class, and you're done.
No, it's not. And so that's one of the things that really I find interesting, is that their timing. They know the timing. They know exactly when to come to talk to you, to tell you, and they know what they're needing from you. And they may groom you a little bit along the way, because it's not your time yet to do something else, but that grooming of getting you looking at metaphysical stuff is for that one time that they then say it's time.
Wow. Yeah, I was thinking about if there was one time specifically I could clearly hear an audience voice, and I got so scared. I was at my uncle's house, and it was like late. Everyone was asleep, and I was making hot cocoa in the kitchen, and the lights were off, and it was a man's voice, and it was behind me, but it was like, the tone was funny. Like, it was kind of like, see, you're making whatever again kind of thing, you know? But I was just like, holy crap, someone is in here. And I ran so fast, and then, yeah.
So that was part of like them grooming you.
What does that mean?
It's like they're preparing you. It's
hate that word,
grooming
grooming.
is
I
a
know, I
bad
don't
word.
either.
I'm so
Immediately
sorry.
I'm like,
They're sculpting you. They're
Sculpting.
preparing
I
you.
like that.
They're kind of testing you.
Okay,
They're
well,
kind of opening a door
Always.
for you.
Just was I ran.
They're opening a door for you to think about. Because here's the deal. How old were you then?
23.
Okay, so you've thought about that a lot since
Yeah.
then. So you now, the door's open. That was their way of opening a door. That's starting like, here's a little nibble for you. Now then we've given you curiosity. We've given you thought. Now then we start opening the door. That's what that's all about. Like, I mean, like when I was a child and I'd walk into a room and I would know what someone was going to say before they said it. And I would answer them and they're like, I haven't asked you anything yet. I'm like, but you were fixing to. And they're like, yeah. But, okay, that
took my
was
line.
that was them saying, don't forget those situations. Don't forget those situations, so that you can remember those when you're older, that you're like, whenever they do call on you or whenever they are calling on you, because you're not knee deep taking care of someone else like I'm not, they then give you that to call on you
Wow.
and to let you know.
Yeah, because the only other thing outside of that was like starting to go to sleep, and then hearing like a voice, something.
So you'll that's one of the ways of them giving you an awareness of who they are, what they do, and things like that. And so that's one of the things that they do.
Wow.
The other thing that is interesting is a lot of people don't know it, but some of your animals are spirit animals. And you may not realize it or know it, but you have to think back at times where you got a dog, a cat, or whatever. There was something some specific moment that animal made it possible for you to walk another step sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
You see what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
You think about that and you think,
Man.
yeah, or that animal came and laid with you and just provided comfort for you, knowing that you were really sad. So these are the things that are also part of the universe giving you, and you don't pay attention sometimes to it. But I mean, so I have a spirit animal that I occasionally talk to that gives me yes or no's, and it's Pegasus. And he gives me yes or no's whenever I have a question.
Wow.
And so I like that.
I love that too because I know Pixie came into my life before I moved to Colorado. I was in a healthy relationship, I thought, until things were where I was shifting and growing. She wasn't, or at least wasn't in the ways that I needed a partner to be, and I had put myself last. I never badmouth an ex because they were a beautiful part of my journey in life. And so it's just what I needed in a partner. It wasn't working anymore at the time. And Pixie come into our life. She got Trixie and I had Pixie. They were sisters. And then when we split, of course, she took Trixie and I took Pixie. But she was just a little over a year old. She was the one that, she went on that journey with me.
And she made sure you were okay.
And I do know I got that message as she was a gift from the stars. Because she's not a typical dog. She hates dog toys, hates dog parks, doesn't like to play with other dogs, never has, never will.
Yeah.
But she loves children.
It's so those are the things that you start thinking about and knowing that some of your guides are permanent. You have and then you have those that are temporary. Some come in just for a season to teach you something. Now, when I say a season, I just want to let you know the seasons are sometimes a long time because in the spirit world, time is not
Our time.
our time. So when they say soon, it could be 5 years. It's like they're just not. It's not the same.
Yeah.
But whenever, so that's one of the things you really want to be aware of because they do have a tendency to just do their own thing. And time means nothing to them like it means to us. So that's really important.
So know that you have your primary guide all around you. You can connect with one of us if you need to find out who that guide is or anything of that nature. And then you have your temporary guides. And again, temporary can be short term, 5 months, 5 years, 50 years, their time is their time. It's different than ours. So
That's
how we
kind
look
of an we're looking pretty good on time, so we
Awesome.
can So what if you want to talk about?
cute, Leslie.
She
we could
is.
hang out.
We can hang out, man. We got a little more
saying.
time. We're doing good. We got like 4 minutes, man. We're wrapping up
hey.
good. So question:
Yeah.
if somebody doesn't know their guides and they really want to start learning or even connecting with a guide, that's a really important part. How
Yeah.
did you start?
Honestly, it was when I got into shamanic journeys, shamanic healing and work, because you can do a specific journey to retrieve your spirit guide. And I take that back, actually. I think I did a hypnotherapy session before I got into shamanism, and they had given me a clue to what a guide was. And it was a
Okay.
temporary at the time. It wasn't my primary guide. And so that kind of put me down a rabbit hole of, oh, this is cool. I want to learn more. And I'd went to a book club. Book club was about soul loss and soul retrieval. And I was like, oh, what's shamanism? Had never heard of it.
Right.
And then it just kept leading me deeper and deeper and deeper. And so I'm like a sponge. I will learn anything that sparks my intuition or sparks me inside. It's like a breadcrumb. I'm like, oh, how much more can I do here?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But shamanic journey is one of the easiest things to do because you can do it in like 30 minutes, a nice healthy journey where you're doing the journey and then you can kind of document it, write it down, discuss it. If I need to give any interpretation for you, things like that.
How about you? And you met a guide?
I haven't met a guide. I'm waiting for you
Okay.
guys to tell me.
Okay, so when I met a guide, it was because I went through a meditation. And I guess it's much like the shamanic journey. You have some meditation. And that's where I started meeting them. The very first meditation that I met my guides, I literally was in a black room and there was all these guides lined up, and so I guess they're ones that are going to come in and out because not all of them are permanent. But they all were like, I was sitting in a chair in this room, and they all were like, "It's about time." And that's what the message was. It was about time, and so that was that. And but that's, I mean, if somebody wants to start doing this, you need to take a class, or you can take a class, meditate. There are online meditations to meet your guides, so look at some of those.
Yeah, and you can do, a one-on-one session, things like that. And then also know is sometimes when goddesses or gods come through to work with you, they're not necessarily a temporary guide. They're just choosing to work with you in this moment in time.
At that moment in time. We have to wrap it up. Any last thoughts?
Just go within. And what is it that you're needing for your spiritual journey?
How about you?
I don't know, actually. I'm still thinking. You guys got me processing stuff.
You got me
You
processing.
need to make her laugh so she can hear ours. We'll go down the line.
So my last final thoughts of this is look for your light inside you and use that as a guiding tool. Your intuition is brighter than what you think, and always start listening to it because it's going to save you a lot of time and trouble.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, that's what I got. Same thing you said.
She's doing a ditto
Like,
over
I
there.
like that ditto.
Copy paste.
Well, that wraps up another episode
Mystics.
of Mystics Spilling the Tea.
I'm Ashwani, Southern Fried Psychics.
I'm Leslie Hall, the Purple Rose Psychic.
And I'm Nikel with Rising Digital.
And we are the
Mystics
Mystics
Spilling
Spilling
the
the
Tea.
Tea. Hope to see you soon.